All right, hey, welcome to BCB Live. Glad to be back. Drive safe, Dave.
Welcome
out
back, sir.
Shaking hands, out, signing autographs. It was a busy week for Sir Rick, and I'm just going to put it back on your rest area, man. Is it any coincidence that Sir Rick makes his day right back on Thankful Thursday, on Driver Appreciation Week? Let me tell you something. It was planned just like this, Dave.
I'm going to go. It was awfully nice. It's nice that you're back. Nice that we had a great time out there. Doing interviews. I had met a lot of fun people. We're back here, and you're finally back.
Hold on. Let's get to the real story, though. There were times where you were just gone.
No.
And every time I looked for you and I found you, Drive Safe, Dave, you were in the kitchen area eating.
I wasn't in it. Never saw a kitchen. Never saw a kitchen. However, I did have some bacon, and I was eating. And okay, so I take some bacon and a Danish, and I go over to the set, and Rick grabs my plate and throws it in the trash. And then you wonder why I got to go find more food.
Producer.
Yeah, well, okay, to be completely fair here, Dave, there were many times while I was back here and I was trying to run the show, I was like, all right, I don't know what the schedule is going to look like today, so I'm going to stay at the desk. I got to make sure everything's going to be good. I got to be standing by. And I get a call, actually, from Rick and from Jack, both saying, hey, stand by, we're going to go on at 12 o'clock. So I'm sitting here, I'm waiting to go. I'm like, I haven't eaten anything all day
First
because
of all,
I'm waiting.
I'm going to defend myself. They served up cheesecake.
61 containers. I'm sorry, not containers.
New record.
61 ships.
New record.
Blows away a new record out there in the port of California. Look at it.
First, I thought it was a World War II movie with an armada sailing into the bay here, but you've got a fleet of huge ships out there. These aren't small. These are those large container ships, and they are out there hugging the coast, waiting on their turn. Who has a fast pass at this moment? This is when you need that fast pass to get past that line at Six Flags.
The port of the port of L.A., right, Los Angeles. It looks a lot like the Amazon warehouses, the distribution centers we see. Just trucks lined up, and here it is, trying to get unloaded here.
Yeah.
Everywhere, 21 ships. Drive safe, Dave. Just in time as DOT puts out a big probe into the container shortage and the chassis shortage. All right, come on now. This probe shouldn't take too long. All right? They're looking for bottlenecks. They're looking for areas like that.
Is there a problem? That was one of the questions. Is there a problem?
Well, here's you go. The first thing is if you think about just container shortages, right? Well, look out in the ocean. There's 61 ships that probably carry 20,000 containers sitting out there.
Yeah, they're
all right, but seriously, they're looking for bottlenecks. And when we think about bottlenecks, we think about that ocean. We got to find a way to, first of all, how are you going to unload those ships today? Hey, let's take a look at this right now. We look at the outbound tender volume. That's the freight moving out across the United States today. We're at 16,343 loads a day. And I want you to just think about this. If we go back to every other year, non-COVID year, we're still at that 10,000 a day. Where are the trucks going to come to pick this freight up right here? How are they going to get those containers unloaded, move it across? Right? I mean, it is a true bottleneck that I don't know what that answer is. I mean, we can do all of these probes, but at the end of the day, trucking's at an all-time high. Today, we look at the full year, we're going to kind of follow along what we did last year, right? We're going to be way up here as opposed to every other year. The spikes during Christmas, look where are they at compared to where we are today. There's so much stinking freight.
It's a new market. It's a new way. And I don't believe it's going away anytime soon. It's something that we have to face going forward. But I'll tell you, you look at it and you try to figure out if you got bottlenecks with trains, they got to put it on the road. Mm-hmm. And if you got to put it on the road, where are they going to get the trucks? Because those, I mean, they're already out there moving freight. You can't. I mean,
where's the probe at into the truck shortage, into the trailer shortage? You can't get trucks.
We need chips.
Yeah. I mean, how much stuff is waiting on a stinking chip? People can't get to work, Drive Safe, Dave, because the trucks are sitting over there parked, or their vehicles are parked in Midlothian, Texas. We saw that last week.
Yeah, there's so many shortages going on, and the prices are ever going up because demand has increased. Supply has basically either stayed the same or minimized greatly. But I'm telling you, prices are creeping up on everything.
It's just a thing of what's coming. You know, if anybody wants to go out there and think that the roadways are going to get less congested, less construction, they're wrong, because right now most of it is just doing the maintenance or adding a highway here or there because of the congestion. But we've got a lot of roads in this country that are considered non-acceptable, which I don't know how they'll continue to keep them open if they're considered non-acceptable, but 20% of the roadways are that way. And so today, we've kind of gone through the bridges, the roadways, the cost per drive motorist for repairs is just astronomical. And the only, most of them follow a pattern and consistency, but except for Oklahoma. Oklahoma it costs the driver $900, but they're not in the top 10 on any roadway issues as far as the percentages compared to the rest. But the states that do spend the least, Rhode Island, 2% of their budget, their state budget, is spent on their roadways, and yet they're the worst in bridges. They're the worst in highways and roadways as well. And then again, you've got followed by Mississippi, which isn't in the top 5 of the worst roadways, but they are up there in the top 10. They only spend 4% of their budget. So you can see where these states are making they're not even allocating money for the roadways to see any improvement. Some of the best. North Dakota spends 68% of its state budgets on its roadways, right? And Wyoming, 54%, and these are in the top 2 and 3 in the country. That followed by Nebraska at 53% and Iowa at 40%. So again, you can see the correlation between who actually takes care of their roadways, but it's gonna get worse. We're adding motorists, and yet the budgets aren't increasing for the roadways. It just seems like a recipe for disaster. We've already seen it. How it happened to the 40 there in Mississippi. Memphis, going into Tennessee there, where it just brought traffic to a standstill for the most part and had to go a lot of out of route things going on. So we can expect more of that in the future. I don't see this going away for the next 10 or 15 years until somebody figures out something.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to wake up. It's going to be all done this weekend, right? I mean, these are long-term things.
Yes.
The infrastructure bills that got to be passed still, and in drive say, Dave, you talk about Rhode Island, 2%. I know you're looking at, well, they only got 5 miles worth of highways. That shows that you're looking at what's going on. You're preparing yourself for even ambulances, right? Because there are humans that are driving. And we don't know if that guy or the person driving that ambulance has got to get home for something. Maybe or they're having their own problems at home, and he's got to get there. He cuts you off. You saw it. You gave him the space, and because of that, there's no accident. That's the decision making we're looking for. Producer, who else we have?
Yeah, that one with the debris in the road, that was me. We were in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and if you see at the end of the video, that semi-truck in front of me and then that four-wheeler, they actually went by that while that individual stopped. And so I saw him, and I, for a split second there, I thought, I can squeeze through there, and then I'm like, wait a minute, let me stop and make sure this guy stays safe.
Good job.
Awesome.
So everybody just went right by.